And finally, we've got our filter inlet. You can see it's kind of a cone-shaped thing with a sphere on the end. So if the water comes from really from any direction, it's very hard for it to impinge and get something stuck going right into a hole. Almost no matter what, it's going to be kind of moving around and scouring these. So that's why I've kind of done it in this fashion. And there's a fairly large inside area, and it just screws on. And it is very 3D printable. I've actually made it, and so it works. All right, so let's take a look and see some specific things on here. First of all, there's nothing critical about this at all anywhere. So all the dimensions you're going to see are 2 decimal places. Everything is 2 decimal places. Okay? Um, Now, even this spacing, what you see here is 0.19 TYP, typical. So everywhere that you see this spacing for all of these is 0.19, and TYP means typical this way. So this direction is 0.37, and the other direction is 0.37. Okay? This has a diameter. That means there's kind of a spherical diameter here of 1.18. And this big outside diameter here is 1.75. So that sets this shape when you know how far this angle goes. Okay? And then this dimension is just enough so that I can get my threads in there. And then I need a little hole through. And that's what this says. It's a 1/2 14, but I'm going to take that drill and go all the way through, okay, as I make this 3D print part into the shell, and that way all I've got to do is tap this once I get it out. So it's really going to be a drill through when I make my 3D print part. So there we go. This is really it. It's here's my main view, my top view, and I decided that I think I needed this view separately, and then I could put this one in as my section view. And since it's an orthographic projection of this, I don't need a label down here. Everything else I think is pretty well squared away. I got to fix this up. This should say PLA. We'll go back and talk about that in a moment. Let's go ahead and do that right now. So this, when I double click on it, you can see this is what came up, and then I typed this in. Right, so that was my typing. When I clicked on this one, when I go to the text, I typed this part in. So that was my part to do. This one, I put the parentheses around it. That means that it's a reference because I know this dimension, this dimension, this dimension, and this dimension. So I don't really need this dimension. It's just there so I can get a quick overall feel without having to add this all up. So that's what that one is. See if there's anything else in here. This is an interesting one. To put that annotation on, I go to dimension and click on it and see how it wants to do a radius. But I want the whole diameter. So I right click and I tell it the dimension type that I want, diameter. So that's an important thing to know how to do. This one comes up as a diameter because it's already there. These ones are center lines, and I had to play with the center line a little bit. So if we look, I had to edit the center mark style because they were just too big and clunky. So I came in and I changed a bunch of these dimensions, and you can look those through and see, right? So it's giving you what they all are. The A dimension is and the B dimension. So you can change those if you feel like it to make it look a little bit better. Make those center marks look good. Whoops, I don't know what I did there. There, I think think that tells you everything we need to know. All of this good stuff has been done. You've sort of seen that in the other ones. You've seen how to do this. You know how to do these now. So I think that's all we need to talk about on this one.